I think anyone that experiences their life changing overnight, which is a surprising amount of people, I think they have an appreciation for how short things are. And so when I was diagnosed at 16, that was the first time where I said, my health is not a guarantee. I'm happy to have an option to continue to be healthy, but it was the first time where I said, whoa, like this is not guaranteed. And that's why I have been driven to do so much. And so when you're in that community, you then can relate and have a lot of empathy for other people. So when you say, whether it's, I've had a boss that's passed away from leukemia, or it's someone who's in the middle of America or anything, it's like, in some capacity I can relate to you because I realize that things are very short and not everyone has that perspective on life. Yeah. Say I didn't have that perspective until it was like, whoa, I'm in a hospital and my life is going to be changed forever. And so I think that's what motivates some people to say, hey, I want to invite as many people as possible into my home as possible. Like, I want to have as many people come into my home because I've traveled and I've maybe not had a home in the past, where other people say, I had this certain thing, like I've broken my leg. Like Casey Neistat's a huge YouTuber that I love following. And he says at the age of 27, like he was in a motorcycle accident. The doctor said he would never walk again. And then he ended up doing like Ironmans, So I think a lot of people that you see incredible drive in, a lot of times there's a story behind that of, hey, something happened to me at some point. So I think that's a perspective I'll always have in life. And you also see it in a lot of individuals. So I'd say, since you know him, James Sanchez, he was a high school friend that him and I legitimately went from, he asked me to train him for a 5K. And then in 9 months, we did the Copenhagen Marathon together. So that was someone where we did one lap around a park and like was exhausted and then did a marathon. So that's just like true endurance, true inspiration to me personally. But then like in the diabetic world, like Lauren Bongiorno, she's a yoga instructor, like always being super active. One of my close friends, we go hiking and do yoga in Central Park, stuff like that. And then Erik, he started the Diabetes Sports Project, which I'm an ambassador for. And so he just wanted a collaboration of all athletes with diabetes who are doing marathons and Ironmans and really pushing the disease and like sports to a new level. And I just love the way he approaches kind of life. And he's all about bringing people together to compete together. But then also having like events before and after races so people can meet the athletes and ask all those questions. And I mean, I think there's like a list of people that I'm always just checking in on Instagram and seeing what they're up to.
So I guess people should check out who you're following on Instagram in order to figure out who they should check out, basically.
Pretty much. I always am inspired by people where you can usually see who they were beforehand and then went through a big transformation. Because for myself, I never really considered myself an athlete. It was something that started way later in life. And so I've always appreciated, like for instance, last year was the first time I did a triathlon. And at the age of 25 was the first time I bought swim goggles and a swim cap and like asked people, how do I do laps in the pool? So I think a big issue I had with myself was that a lot of times you're told you're not an athlete or you're told you're not certain things. And then I realized that people can change at any point in life. So I've always appreciated those stories of saying, hey, I was 50 years old and overweight and now I do Ironmans as a 60-year-old. So people that do stuff like that, I think are the most inspirational.